Hi, welcome to my studio again. What I thought I'd do today is I would show you a very simple printmaking technique in which you can develop some ideas using nail polish remover. It's got acetone in it, and there is a technique where you can take a source material image, which has to be a freshly made photocopy, or if it's a few days old it doesn't matter, but it's always better if it's fresh, and transferring it onto a sheet of paper, and then I'm going to show you how you can develop that and work into it. What I'm going to do is take a theme today, something that we can all work with, and I want to look at the body and land art, okay? The landscape, things that we can engage with in our local environment. So I'll start off with some really inspiring images taken from Bill Brandt. I've made a copy of these, a laser print of these, okay? It's got to be laser print rather than inkjet print, because the acetone reacts and transfers. But I love these very striking, strong black and white images which have a good tonal range. So it's good to start off with a source material that has a good tonal range. I'm also going to be working with some of these images which have been recently printed based on some interventions in the landscape. A beach, a nice lonely beach in these days of lockdown, just to get out into the open air is a real luxury. So I thought it'd be quite nice to actually use these images. And there are other examples here, things that we can incorporate into our piece, photographs of natural forms that could be used, and various other things. So let's start making an image. Let's start off with Bill Brandt, a great photographer. Again, he incorporates the landscape and the human figure beautifully. So I'm going to take the acetone, very cheap nail polish remover. Okay, it is sort of quite flammable, and you don't want to be sniffing it too hard, so I'm sure there's somewhere in the house where you can get hold of it. I'm going to take one of these images and I'm going to use just everyday cotton wool, and I want to take this as a fairly simple central image. I want to start working into it like this, okay? Now at this point, you can take a spoon, something hard. In this case, I've got a nice firm drinks flask, and I'm going to push firmly so it doesn't ruin the paper. You can feel the image coming through and transferring onto your cartridge paper. Okay, so hopefully we'll have a beautiful image here, as if by magic. I just want to take this a bit closer so you can see it. You can see the image coming through quite accurately. Not all of it has come through properly, but still I think there's something quite interesting there that we can start off with. Now I'm going to keep working with these images. I'm going to start bringing in a little bit here. Again, I'll show you again. Soak the paper, then I'm using the smooth end of this and really firmly pushing it through onto a hard surface behind, and the image will start coming out. And what's great about this is it's almost like a form of drawing and printmaking. You can really feel the texture through the surface. Again, that's come out nicely. You can see a nice image here of the figures. Now I'm going to use that as a basis to start building on. So I'm going to take you even closer. Okay, that's probably good. It's great, these iPhone stands that I've been using. And I'm going to take actually a nice strong image, which was actually done by one of my students a few years ago on a beach, on a nice empty beach. And I'm going to have that growing through the two forms. You can choose the area that you want to transfer. So I'm going to keep saturating the paper. This time I'm going to use a spoon. So that as long as it's a firm surface, I'm just going to focus on that column. So I'm going do circular motions. I'm noticing the surface that I'm pressing on is a little bit unstable, a little bit soft underneath. So it could be harder. And I'm feeling that's coming through quite nicely. Okay, so already I'm starting to develop quite a range of different forms. I'm going to do one more over here, and I'm going to try and unify them with some other media, with maybe some pencil media, some graphite. See what happens. Again, it has to be firm. I did these photocopies or these printouts yesterday, so hopefully they should be reasonably fresh. And see how firmly I have to press them. You can feel them coming through and transferring off the page. Now that's nice. So I've actually created, it's almost like a tonal shaded drawing with hints of colour. I think that's working really well. Now at this stage, you can get a pencil, you can get watercolour, you can get whatever thing you like to try and bring things together. So I might want to sort of create some architectural shapes within there, maybe emphasise the circles, bring in some element of repetition, maybe work back into, okay, just using the edge of a pencil, starting to map out composition, which kind of fulfills my theme of land art, which I'm trying to develop. Okay, I could work into things with pastels, pencils. I'm liking that colour there, so I could find a hint of colour. It could be a pencil crayon, but I found a bit of a pink pastel, which I might want to work into it with, but not overdoing it, just to bring in a little bit more colour. So you see, quite quickly, I've created a really simple drawing. I mean, that could be part of a sketchbook page, it could be a piece of artwork in its own right, it could have annotations talking about the different artists that have been used. So it's great for students, sketchbooks. It's a good way of filling pages, showing your source material, but also exploring a technique and pushing the medium further. Thank you.